I spent over 5 hours and 500 quid making the car run worse. That's the first coil pack off. Looking at these, they've seen better days and they've been in there probably a very long time. I'm sure most of them are working, but there's no point in just changing one or two when you consider how much work's involved in actually getting to it. Yeah, so I'm actually going to compare this with one of the new ones that I've just bought and make sure before I remove everything that I'm on the right track and I've got the right gear. So this is the first coil and first plug out. It's mostly just so I can compare what I've bought with what's in there already, but looking at this plug, seems to me like it might have been in there quite a while. Maybe nothing wrong with it, you never know, but I'm not going to go to all this trouble without changing a 18 quid's worth of plug. So that's the first coil pack and new spark plug put in. Just a point when you're putting your spark plugs in, don't touch them with your bare fingers on the ceramic. So you can leave grease on there that apparently heats up super fast and cause arcing and tracking, or carbon, and it gives the power from the ignition coil another chance to ground out rather than going through the plug itself. So treat yourself to a new pair of gloves and a cup of tea. I'm also, because I don't know whether this is actually going to fix my misfiring problem, I'm numbering up the coils. I know number 6 was the cylinder that was misfiring, so I'm going to number them all up, and if they're any good to anybody, give us a shout. Plug 2, and it's getting less and less likely this has ever really been done in the last 10 years probably. So that's a good job it's getting done now. Well, even if it doesn't fix my misfire problem, it needed doing. Cylinder 3 is a lot of fun. You've got to remove this bracket to get these pipes to flex up a little bit so you can get the coil out. Not the end of the world, but this one's already sheared off, so yeah, we've got fun. Well, that was interesting. Plug 3 was really tight, felt like factory tight, and I reckon this has ever been serviced. They thought it was too much trouble to remove that bar. Yeah, this doesn't look good. At first sight it looks like oil, but it's been passing up through the threads of the plug somehow. The good news actually is it's just the spark tube seals failing. Slightly embarrassing news flash. I'm on plug 6 and I've just figured out how these connectors work. And you're going to say it's dead obvious, but trust me, it's not until you do it. You have to push back on that and then pull back on the body and it will slide out, no bother at all. This is a bit strange. Cylinder 6 was the one that was meant to be misfiring, and yet it's the best plug I've taken out so far. Very odd. Anyway, it could be the coil, could be that it's literally just started and I haven't driven it very much since, but we'll see. When you're refitting a connector that's got very little play in the cable, it's worth actually connecting the connector to the coil pack just as you're putting it in, because afterwards it's very difficult to get this back far enough. So reassembly is pretty much the reverse of dismantling, so except that I'm fitting all of the connectors before I put it down just to make it slightly easier. Mustn't forget this one here, and then we'll move on to the back ones. There are pegs in the inlet manifold head, which correspond to holes in the manifold itself. Helps to settle it back in place. Obviously it's a new gasket. Interestingly, the gasket that I've put in is OEM, and it's not flat, it's ridged. The one I took off is flat, so I'm guessing when you compress it down it actually flattens the gasket out. So putting the bolts back into the manifold, I'm only just taking them up a little bit by hand to make sure they're in the right holes and there's no cross threads or anything like that. And when I start tightening, I'm going to tighten from the centre in a diagonal pattern out, just to spread the load as it tightens that gasket down. So it's time to torque them down now. Got the torque wrench set at 88 inch-pounds, which is about 7 foot-pounds, and you want to be turning it nice and slow until you get a click, hopefully in one fluid motion. Second one to check. Now we'll go on and do the rest in a cross pattern. This is next, then that, then that. These two were surprisingly tricky to get in. Might even be worth actually trying to connect them before you bolt the manifold down. Anyway, we got there in the end. And it's these breather pipes on from the crankcase ventilation system. We'll take the rubber glove off in a minute, and then it's the fun bit with the air ducting. I'm not looking forward to that. So this crankcase breather pipe was a real pig. With the airbox in place, it's just impossible to get it in, and I ended up having to lift it up in the corner there to get it off, and it slid into place. It was okay. Just can't do it with that filter there. It's impossible. And so next we move into the air intakes for the inlet manifold, and need to get these on nice and tight so when we give it some beans they don't blow off. And then finally, or pretty much finally, is the vacuum pipes at the back, and if they're a bit tight, but a silicone grease will sort that out. And don't forget the clips, obviously. And speaking of which, I'm going to have to fit the correct clips when I get them from Bentley. So everything done, and the airbox is back on, and the cover's back in place. It's time to start her up and see what happens. Fingers crossed. Now if this was a Wix advert, where everything goes right and all the pencils are sharp, then I'd be here telling you that everything was great and it worked first time and all, but it's not the truth. The truth is I spent over 5 hours and 500 quid making the car run worse than it did before. Now the question was, should I start drinking now, or should I plug the VCDS in and find out what's going on? However, by accessing advanced features, you can enable misfire recognition. And as you can see, I enabled it on all of the cylinders that I could, and lo and behold, bank 1 had no misfires, but bank 2 from cylinder 7 on to cylinder 12 was being very naughty, and that gave me hope. So off comes the air cleaner box once again, and lo and behold, mass airflow sensor connection is broken and had fallen off. Hopefully this is the problem. You have to figure out a way of keeping this in place until I can get around to replacing it. It's going to need to be repinned if it can be. And that'll be another video, I think. It's a very temporary bodge. This is literally on to see if I have actually cured the misfire. I'm holding the MAF sensor connector in with a couple of tie wraps. We'll get this put back together and see how she runs. So that's it, mass airflow sensor was it, and glad to say that all the time and trouble changing the plugs and the coils was worth it.